What is it? It is passion and style, heritage and diversity, creativity and innovation, but there's so much more to it. Everyday visionaries, original and refined, stubbornly authentic, with unmatched quality on our mind. Every time you live it, wear it, feel it, taste it, you'll know it's true. It is our brand, cool and unique. Italy is simply extraordinary. Be it.
Hi, 大家好。
Hi.
Ciao Alberto. How are you?
Ciao, Mile. I'm good. Thank you. Hope the same with you.
Yeah, nice. OK, 大家好。
Great.
今天呢，我是这个线上讲座的主持人，我是 MOT Select 以及北欧橱窗的总监 Mile。今年呢，很高兴我们参与了台湾的意大利设计日的首场的线上讲座的这个活动。那我们这一次呢，我们就特别请到了 Magis 的 CEO Alberto Perazza， 那他来跟我们分享一下意大利设计的产业的现况，还有对于永续未来的看法。Magis 是一个意大利非常重要的设计师家具品牌。比较起来，其实意大利有蛮多也是已经将近超过100年的品牌了，但我觉得 Magis 相对是比较年轻，但它很有活力。因为我们在参与跟他们的合作超过10年的一个时间呢，我们真的感受到他们的 passion。也如同线上的各位的年轻人，年轻就是应该勇于向自己去挑战。我相信今天 Alberto 他今天会给我们带给一些很特别的一些经验的分享。OK， 那我们现在呢，我们就来请 Alberto 来跟大家分享他今天的一个经验。So Alberto, it's your time now. Say hello to everyone.
Dage ho. Hello. Nice to see you, everyone. And it's a great honor for me for being here today. I would like to say a very loud thank you to the Italian Trade Agency in Taipei for inviting me to join the Italian Design Day 2022. So thank you.
他先跟大家来问好一下，也谢谢今年的一个台北办事处 ITA 的一个邀请。OK， 那我们现在就开始来我们的线上讲座了。
We as a company like to cooperate with many designers. We love the idea of having those cooperations with many designers since the very beginning, since we got started back in 1976. We enjoyed we enjoyed all of those cooperations. We were busy before, but also right after the pandemic, we were busy as well. Very busy in developing our ideas in cooperation with our designers. There's been a stop in production. We've been closed for approximately a month. But right after that, during the pandemic, I mean, we continued to be very busy. It changed a bit. It changed a bit how things are done, how things are organized between the parties. But I believe that one thing pandemic has taught all of us is that stuff can still be done. Maybe on a different format, maybe with an initial bit of planning and a little bit of more effort, but yes, stuff could still be done. COVID-19 and had a strong impact on the way we live, work, and design. Think, for example, of the work from home and what that means in terms of designing spaces for home and for the offices. Today, there is a new lifestyle emerging, which is more home-centric. Home are becoming very important, and there's a strong need for private spaces at home, and also home offices are turning very important. At the same time, I believe also outdoor spaces are gaining more attention. As a company, we travel less, but we're busier than ever, I would say. And traveling less means, by the way, being good to the environment. The very problem that we're facing today has to do not with design, but with production. There's a lack of raw materials. The cost is in cost. Production costs are increasing a lot. There's a lack in the offer, so there's continuous delays, and this unfortunately seems to be even worse right now. Think of the latest events which are happening in the war, and because of the war between Russia and Ukraine, which does not help at all. However, one positive effect of the pandemic is that we now see probably things differently. We now prioritize things differently, and this has given us a different sense of timing. Well, pandemic has an impact, of course. It has an impact on the business. We as a company, we probably need 2 years to go back to pre-pandemic levels. However, there's technology. Technology helps. Zoom, all the virtual meetings, this plays a very important role, and they are an accelerator to digital changes. Which, by the way, this goes hand in hand with sustainability, which is great. I like to think that during the pandemic, we probably gain more than what we have lost. However, there's a thing which I think our business, our design business has lost. I believe that creative businesses, and we are creative businesses, in those businesses, creativity is not that much fostered digitally. The design business is a business which requires physicality. I mean, we make chairs and other furniture. Making a chair which is a product that you need to sit on, you need to try, you need to smell, you need to interact with it, you need to sit down, try, and this cannot be left to the digital world. Simply it doesn't work. So we need the human contact, and luckily this seems to be coming back. So we probably need to reconsider the physical digital balance. Remote work and virtual meetings are, of course, likely to continue, but probably less intensely than at the pandemic's peak. I think it's great to sit down, talk to people, and meet people in front of a chairs, in front of a product that we're working on. Well, pandemic, things at the beginning were rather tough. It was an initial difficult timing, but I think companies reacted quite fast with digital launches and presentations, so they were able to adjust and keep things moving, which was fantastic. This, of course, as I said before, will continue also in the next years. Companies who have strong values are the ones which will be doing successful in the future. Companies which are transparent will be more successful than others. I think that judging and having a look at the market and how things are developing right now and post-pandemic is that there's still a strong demand for products in the residential market, for home market. Unfortunately, the contract share of the market is not recovered fully yet because we travel less, because the hospitality business has not recovered fully, and also because the working from home is still going strong. So the companies, by the way, need to give good reasons to employees to be back in the office. There was one thing which concerned most of us. It was about productivity. We were concerned that during the pandemic, with the work from home, productivity would decline, but to the contrary, this has not been the case, which is, of course, a very positive effect. For the future, I think that products that will be successful are the products and the objects which will solve a problem and which will have a clear function. Yes, I think we have a strong bond with history. This is linked to our business model, which is made mostly of small and medium-sized companies, which very much rely on also on the on small production partners. It's a very special system, which is typical of the Italian design business, and maybe not only that business. It's a network. Is about network. I mean, is about the relationship. Is about how things are done, the supply chain, the district. So a lot of things can be done within the district. It's a system where also, and that is very important as a factor which explains the success of the Italian design scene, is there is a system in which internationally renowned designers have found a fertile ground for cooperation. This is specific. This needs to be preserved and nurtured even further. On average, also, I would say that we know the lessons of quality. We have a strong culture. We feel the heritage of the old masters of Italian design. And also, it's about the entrepreneurs. It's about the courage of the entrepreneurs with a strong vision, a vision of making masterpieces, a vision of making design icons, but also a vision of creating a system of collections which incorporates the standards of the quality of life which defines us Italians. However, we have to be careful because there's a lot of challenges around, there's a lot of competitions, and we need to stay relevant for the future generations. Yes. When we talk about sustainability, we have to look at different aspects: economic, social, and environmental. They are very strongly connected each other, those various aspects. Design, I think, is at the forefront of sustainable development. Design and architecture play a very important role towards making the world a better place for living, to making the world a more sustainable place, and making the world a more resilient space. It is interesting to see how the understanding and the use of raw materials is changing in these days. People are more interested today in learning and knowing more about things are done, who are doing those things, and they want to know about the supply chain. They want to know what they bring home. So that means that we as manufacturers need to pay more attention to all of those aspects, and consumers. So, and this means that you either have to consume less, or you have to be more careful of what you consume and what you bring home. I think this is an interesting challenge. I think I like to say this as a positive challenge. And considering that design is about the starting point of making things, design plays a very important role because everything starts with designing products and services. So for this reason, I am saying that design is at the forefront of the paths towards a better future, a more sustainable future. We have to be transparent. We have to tell exactly how our products are made, who have made them, and this, I think, on the medium term will pay back. So we all have to see sustainability as a positive challenge and as a big opportunity, and not seeing sustainability as a threat or a limit. Magis as a company has been sustainable for a long time. I would say probably since we got started, since our very beginning. So this is not something which started very recently. I'm saying sustainable because our products has always been conceived to last long. And durability is the first key factor in making a sustainable product. Things, which are meant to last long. I can make some examples. For example, Air Chair, which is a chair designed in 2000 by Jasper Morrison. That is a very sustainable product. It's made in plastic, injection molded, polypropylene. And because the way it is conceived, how it is manufactured, with not much use of materials. So if you cut the leg in a section, you'll see hollow space inside. That means shorter production cycle, less energy. So it's sustainable. And that is back in 2000, not last year, back in 2000. We have products which are which are shipped KD, knocked down. All of the products are conceived also to be easy disassembled at the life cycle at the life cycle ends, and this is good to the environment. We have products which are made of recycled plastics. We have new products which are made of bio-based plastics. We are transitioning existing products from traditional plastics into a more sustainable plastic, either bio-based or recycled. The wood we use in the making of our furniture is sourced in a environmentally sound fashion. So all of this, I think, is good. We always pay a lot of attention to the environment and the sustainability. But also, it's about social aspects. We are in a corner of Italy, in the northeast corner of Italy, and the majority of our things are manufactured here locally. So we're very proud of making things here for our community. So we're proud of making things in Italy. And of course, we are very happy of making something good to the environment. As a company, since from the very beginning, Magis is very technologically driven. So many of our products starts because of our desire of making something with technology, experimenting something with technology. We pay a lot of attention into technology when making our products. And technologies also today is an important factor to be considered towards sustainability. Well, this is something I've noticed recently. It's about misconceptions, misconceptions on materials. I believe that some people tend to judge too easily what is good and what is bad to the environment. Today, everyone seems to be against the use of plastic. But are we sure that we should ban plastic today? I am not that sure. The very problem to the environment is not a chair in plastic, particularly if that chair is meant to last long. The very problem to the environment today goes on landfills. That is the type of plastic which goes into the ocean. So that is really the problem. So we need to see that some people which probably needs to see things more holistically and not really say, look, this is bad, this is wrong. Think of the environment, of course, but see that in a more global scale. There's a lot of greenwashing around, by the way, and so you need really to pay attention to the carbon footprint also. So think more general terms. Let me ask a question. It's a question which I was asking myself so several times already. So what is less good to the environment? Is it to make a chair in plastic, made consciously, made to last long, or making furniture, pieces of furniture in wood, cutting down forest? I don't know. There's no clear answer to that. I leave this open. So what is relevant today is finding the right material for that specific project, for that specific product. So there is no bad material a priori. Not really. I don't think we have found conflicts between the use of technologies in making our products and being sustainable at the same time. To the contrary, I think that the modern technologies, the technology of today, and what we are looking for the future are greener. So they help to accelerate this push towards a more sustainable future. At least this is what is based on our experience. We as a company like to experiment a lot, materials, technologies. This is very important to us. We like to take challenges, and when we take challenges, we know that sometimes we can fail. So being at the edge and trying to push the limits of the technologies, it can happen that sometimes during the process, maybe midway through the process, we realize that you cannot make it from an engineer point of view, so that you cannot turn that idea you have in mind into a physical product. And so things apparently do not go ahead. They do not become a product. It's a failure. Yes, it is, but it's not a total failure, because maybe in the future, maybe because the technology is changing in the meantime, or maybe because you have gained some experience, that idea, that product, can be made, can be manufactured at a different time. So this is good. This is the risk of companies like Magis, which likes to push the limit of technologies and materials. And since many years already, in developing our products, we always pay a lot of attention on materials, on the way how they are combined in the product, because we believe this makes a difference in the logistic footprint of our products, and also in what happens at the life cycle end. These are very important aspects which needs to be taken into consideration. And here, between those aspects, there should be no conflict, no contradictions. Yes, we have plenty of ideas we're working on. Every year we're working on new ideas. And the moment in the year when we bring out those new ideas, when we introduce them to the public, is the Milan Salone, which is finally taking place this year in June. All of these ideas have to do with technologies and materials and sustainability. We believe that this goes hand in hand today. There's a lot of stuff we are working on. I cannot share much, unfortunately, because right now they are still at concept levels, but you'll see them in a few months during Salone. Sometimes also, and that's different, but apparently world apart, but they are very linked together. Sometimes we go out of the way. So we are making wine. We love wine, and we are making our own wine since a few years already. Apparently, as I said, two different words, but they are driven by very similar factors. And making a wine is like designing a piece of furniture. There's a lot of similarities between those two businesses, and we enjoy both. We work with many different designers, different in design language, in background, different in their approach towards design. We enjoy very much the relationship with the designers we work with, very much. To us, design is teamwork. So the best ideas, the best products which we made in our history are the result of a very intense and profitable teamwork. So design is a teamwork. It's made by Magis as a company, by the designers, but also by other different people which are not visible, which are behind the scenes, the engineers, the model makers, the prototype. They all play a very important role in turning, an idea, and usually ideas are generated internally by us into a physical product. So we like those designers which love this dialogue. Teamwork means dialogue, and dialogue is a back and forth. It's an intense cooperation, in an intense back and forth between us, the designers, and all of the other peoples which are involved in the process. We like those designers who also like to embark on new challenges. We do not really look much in choosing a designer at their professional background and at their career, at where they have learned, which school they have attended. We don't really look much at that. It's more about the relationship we are able to establish with them. And of course, this we see when we start the dialogue. The dialogue is very important, as I was mentioning before. And of course, it's important a good understanding of materials and of technologies. It's important how they see us and how they can understand our needs, but we also need to understand each other. And also, we like very much the dialogue and the conversation, and it's all about that. It's all about the dialogue that we are able to establish with them. Flexibility is also important, I would say. We have developed in the last couple of years, and it's interesting that they both have been introduced to the market digitally during the pandemic. Two new products, Bell and Costume. Both products have at their core sustainability and also sophisticated technologies. This goes back to the point we were talking earlier, that new technologies and sustainability are not conflicting. To the contrary, new technology are greener and they play an important role towards a better future, a more sustainable future, and making stuff good to the environment. We have Bell. Bell is a monoblock chair in plastic, in recycled plastic made of industrial waste, designed by Konstantin Gricic. And this project started with a challenge, an engineer challenge, a challenge of making a chair with the less possible use of material and at an aggressive price point. Before, and this took quite some time of back and forth of conversation between us and Konstantin Gricic. So we asked ourselves the question, do we really need to make a new chair in plastic? Is there a need today to make a new chair in plastic? Yes, there is that need, because if you want to make a chair with an aggressive price point, there's no other option than to make that with this technology of injection molding using plastic. That's the only way. So we decided to go ahead using industrial waste, so recycled plastic. And it has been, a very challenging project, but we were very happy of finalizing the Bell chair and have it launched during the pandemic last year. So it's a very transparent, it's a very honest chair, which really stresses out those values which are at the core of the project. Then there is also Costume. And again, Costume is a product which has at its core sustainability. It's a modular sofa designed by Stefan Dietz. Stefan Dietz, we've been knowing this is our first project with them. We've been knowing Stefan Dietz for many years because he has been design assistant at Konstantin Gricic's studio at the time we were working together on Chair 1. Our first sofa. And it's interesting, this sofa, because at the core of the product, the inner part, which is not visible, the base is made of recycled plastic, also industrial waste. And also, the not so good part of the environment in a sofa is the foam. With the way this product, the way the Costume is conceived, is that the use of the foam is kept to a very minimum, which is good, of course. and also some of the fabric options are recycled and can be removed to be replaced. So these are two of our most recent projects, which we're very proud of having manufactured and have launched during the pandemic. Really no limit. Well, if there's no limit at all, then I would love to be involved on designing furniture for living on Mars, together with Elon Musk. Well, Magis is daring, is innovative. We like to take on challenges. These are our values. These are the values which defines Magis since our very beginning. I believe these are our values which should also apply to the young generation. I think that's really, this is really important. It's about the courage, determination. These are the driving factor. It's about the enthusiasm, the passion. This is what drives you. This is what should be like a source of inspiration. Being passionate about what you do, and being passionate about the design that you develop. This is Ettore, by the way. I didn't tell you about Ettore, but Ettore is the mule. Ettore is all about Magis, is the essence and the spirit, is a stubborn, is an uphill trekking champion. It does not look for the easy way out. It's humble. It's all about Magis, and we're very happy of being Ettore. So also, Magis, I didn't tell that, but Magis means more than. It's a Latin word. So what I would like as an idea is that the new generation will think that Magis is more than. And also, because our products, which are not related to any specific fashion on the moment, will be passed down from generation to generation.
哇哦，我们真的很谢谢 Alberto 今天给我们这么精彩的分享。那接下来的部分呢，我们就会跟 Alberto 来做一个线上的一个 Q&A。So thank you, Alberto. Thank you for your wonderful sharing. 那因为在这一次大家在线上报名的时候呢，其实我们就有提出说，希望大家如果有一些问题的话呢，可以在这个时候来做一个跟他的互动。结果收到超多的，所以我们还是要来整理一下。最后呢，因为时间的关系，所以我们请 Alberto 还有我们的团队呢，我们来找了一下几个问题，约莫是找了5个问题。这5个问题呢，也让 Alberto 他也自己想一下，因为有些问题我觉得还真的是很生活，也是很专业的内容。所以我们接下来就来进行我们这一 part。So Alberto, now we are going to the Q&A time. Because, during the reservation by the audience, so many questions in there. So due to the time was insufficient, so we need to just pick up the question. So now 5 questions, we were working on that during this Q&A time, okay? So let me just say that the first questions from the audience. Is there any chances for you to work with Thomas Heathwick to have interesting and easy to see products as sponsor?
First of all, let me tell you how Span started. Because Span started not the usual way our products usually start, which is working on ideas internally, briefing ideas to designers, and working together. It did not start that way.
这个案子他有提到的是说，其实 sponsor 其实是本来就已经就是不是一个按照正常的方式去把它给就是发展出来的。
In fact, when we came to know Thomas Heathwick, I think it was 2009, there was already an existing Span chair out in the market, a very limited edition designed by Thomas Heathwick in lated metal, which was sold through a gallery in London at a very high price tag. the idea we had together with Thomas Satterwijk was to convert that product into a more consumer-friendly, cost-effective product, converting it into rotational molded polyethylene chair.
他有提到，就是说他们在2009年的时候呢，遇到了 Thomas Satterwijk。那一开始的时候，他们一看到这张 Spun Chair 的原型的时候，他们就很兴奋。但是这张椅子其实开始的时候呢 ，Thomas 并不是把它做成一个产品的，他其实是受了一个伦敦的一个 gallery 之邀，做了一个超高价的一个算是限定版的东西。那他们相遇了之后呢，其实 Thomas 也很想要，能不能够把这样子的一个像是艺术品等级、被收藏等级的东西，能够以一个比较亲民的方式呢，提供给大家，所以就要从原本是用车床去切割出来的东西，可以变成是塑料的射出成型这样子。
We like Thomas Satterwijk very much. We enjoy working with them. We enjoyed very much the relationship with them and with the studio. He's a great architect, and by the way, I know that he's very active in your part of the world.
他们是非常喜欢 Thomas Satterwijk， 因为他们在欧洲也是做得非常的好，不管他们设计的工作。
I'm sorry. Product like Spun do not happen anytime. Sometimes products starts by a coincidence, by a fortuitous coincidence, by chance. They start something which was not planned, and so that has been the case. That has been the case as the Spun. I mean, they are unique. So if we were thinking today of making another product as Spun, if we were working on something with that goal of making something new like a Spun, I can tell you that we would not be able to make it. We would not be able to beat Spun.
Yeah, because Spun is a super success, you know. So in Taiwan,
it's a great success.
Yeah, and also
it's a great success. Yes.
Yes, we have a Thomas Satterwijk exhibition, you know, in Taipei before. Super popular, you know. Many
I remember well. That was great. I was with you. I was there. It was fantastic.
You remember, you know, so
very well.
People so happy to just see it and just run. Oh, so nice. OK， 他刚好提到一件事情，就是说，其实 Spun Chair 其实它并不是说好像是刻意被设计出来的。其实他也提到，许多的设计都是来自于说，我们也看到一些书啊，也看到一些采访会提到，就是灵光一现，他可能忽然想到了什么，然后他去把它给创造出来，所以它并不是一个就是刻意的被设计出来的一个家具的一个作品。那 Alberto 也提到呢，如果未来他们想要跟 Thomas Satterwijk 来做合作的话呢，他不会想要再做一张像是 Spun 一样的椅子，所以大家也不用期待了。第二个就是说，也不一定会是做的一个家具。好，接下来我们来听听看他怎么说。
Nevertheless, we have an open dialogue with them. We are working on some new ideas with Thomas Satterwijk and his studio. Thomas Satterwijk, you know, is more active as an architect than as a designer, so he is very selective with the people he wants to work with. And the idea we're working on is not a chair, but still, of course, a piece of furniture. It's a technical challenge as well. So this makes it a little bit more difficult than Spun. But we're making progress, and hopefully we will be able to make it. It would be a fantastic. I can tell you, it would be a fantastic product. But there is a bit of a technical challenge we have to work on.
其实 Thomas Satterwijk 他我想在身为建筑师的一个角色呢，在全球的领域里面，的确是比设计师来的更广为人知道跟就是看到的一个作品。那他也提到呢，就是说接下来跟 Thomas 合作的新的作品呢，可能不会是一个椅子了，那会是什么呢？他也还没有说出来，但是呢。他说，因为他们在内部跟他们的技术人员在讨论的时候，其实工业制程其实是一个非常重要的一环，因为它影响到了成本的部分。那我想这个是一个比较特别的。
And the reason of Span being so unique is it's not only because it's a fun product and you get a lot of fun when you sit and when you spin on it, but it's also a serious product. So Span is a seriously fun product. This is what makes it special. So if we're able then to make another product with Thomas Satterwijk, then it will be like that, a seriously fun product. This is what we're aiming.
他们的想法是因为像 Span Chair 这张椅子呢，的确它其实是一张真的是还蛮好玩的椅子。为什么呢？因为它就是可以坐在上面旋转嘛，绕到圈圈，然后甚至头会晕这样子。所以他们也希望说能够再去做一张像是 Span Chair 可以带给我们的一种体验，要好玩，但是它其实是经过了很严格的一个思考思虑的结果，而不是一个随便只做一个好玩的东西这样子。Okay, great. So, I think we have a second questions. So, how to live meaningfully? That's really nice question.
Yes, it's a very big question. It is a question very much of today, I think. Meaningful life for me means happy life. In fact, what I'm trying to do now is focusing on stuff which matters. I mean, on stuff which matters to me, which is not the urgent stuff, but is the important stuff. Is the stuff that you like pursuing, and that if you achieve those goals, it makes you happy.
我想这个问题，他第一个直觉的一个回答就是说，应该要让你的人生过得快乐点，就是一个最有意义的生活了。那他想要做的事情，就是可以让自己更专心在一些重要的事情，而不是那些很急急忙忙的事情。所以这个他认为如果可以完成的话呢，那就是一个算是一个 happy life 了。
What I'm trying to do is, putting down a short list of a few points, a few goals daily that I should achieve, and not many, only a few, both in the private life and in the business, and try to follow. So these are the important stuff that if you achieve, they make you happy. They motivate you to move to the next one. This also requires, however, being selective in terms also of sometimes eliminating some relationships or some activities. But I think this is something worth trying.
他提到的就是说，其实说实在的，最简单的模式呢，就是干脆你就稍微标注几个你觉得很重要，而且你也觉得必要是应该要做的事情，因为毕竟我们有很多事情要做嘛。其实他也提到，就是说，不管是在他自己的生活或者是工作的一个范畴之间呢，我们其实都很难能够真的去掌控到这么的我就按照这个照表操课这样子，其实是很困难。但是他认为尽可能去完成它还是一个重要的。
Living meaningfully to me means also, and that's very important, something which I discovered not that many years ago, to spend quality time and investing time with your loved one, with your family, with the friends. So with the people you care about and with the people you share values with. And investing time and energy and money more into relationships and experiences rather than buying stuff. This can make a difference, I think.
另外就是说呢，如果可以跟自己的家人、跟自己喜爱的人，然后以及他的朋友，可以多一点时间的相处呢，那他会认为这种东西是值得付出时间的，所以就是把你的时间花在对的事物身上，那他也胜过了，就经营这一段的关系，其实胜过了你去买东西的这件事情。Yep.
And also, since we all live a busy life, we also need to simplify it. And I think meaningfully means also simplify your life, which at the end as a positive result is that your productivity, both in the private activities, in the business activities, I think will be better and it will improve.
如果尽可能让自己的生活简单化一点的时候，可以在你有许多的工作的压力之下，你也可以是尽可能去完成你工作跟生活的一个平衡，都可以做得比较好。这是一个他觉得的方向。Okay, great. So
yes,
yeah. Next, the question is, how do you get over the obstacle when you were a student?
I was a good student, by the way. I was a good student at high school and the university as well. I think it was something good to do, to make happy your parents. Particularly my mom has been a teacher.
Wow.
So I love the school. I was good. I didn't find much of obstacles there. And that's because I enjoyed what I was learning. When I was at school, because I did economics and business administration, so I don't have a background in either architecture or design. I did not see myself that one day I was joining the family business. I could see myself more into the numbers, which I was rather good about, and in running a business.
Okay. 所以他说的很有趣哦。他其实呢，在高中跟大学的时候呢，其实我也很少听到人家说，我是一个好学生。他就这样讲，他就说我就是一个好学生。相反的，个人我就不是。那他一开始的时候，初衷其实也很简单，他只是学说让他父母开心一点就是一个好事。但他最后讲了一个原因，原来他老妈是老师，所以他当然要让他们开心嘛。然后他也提到就是说，其实他并不是设计相关本科的，他也不是建筑，也不是念 design 的，他其实是念像经济或者是企管类似的哦，在他学校念的时候是这样的一个科系，所以他其实以前的时候也没有想过说他会在家族事业里面工作。那他也提到他非常 enjoy 在学校的一个这样的生活跟学习，这个也是我个人觉得也蛮难得遇到的啦。哦，那他其实可以大家其实想象得到，他未来有可能会在家里面的事业里面，他扮演的就是要去盯着哦，例如说他们家里面树木质相关的一个工作内容，所以他是其实做好准备，我觉得 OK。
Sometimes you learn something, you are trained for doing a job, but then you end up doing totally different things in your working experience. So this has been my case as well. It was only during the last year of my university that I started to live the company life of my father and start attending designers meeting, started to hear very interesting stories and meeting very, very interesting people, which was very much different from what I was learning at school. So I decided that it was good for me to join the business. So this is how I got started.
他提到的是说，其实在学校我们当然就是说，一般我们上学校，我们在学校学习的时候，其实如果你念的是企管，像他一样好，你可能就觉得说，我未来可能要当个什么样的人，所以我们在里面内容物呢，当然就是以这样子去学习的。但他其实在最后一年的时候呢，他一直有想过说，他其实学的东西跟他未来会不会有点不一样，所以他那时候跟着他爸爸呢，开始进行去拜访一些设计师啊，跟客人，他学到了非常多以跟学校所学到的不一样的东西。Yes.
So going back to the school, if there is something that I did not like much, it was that my school was not that much linked or connected to the outside world, so there was not internship, no workshops. This is something I did not like, but of course that was many years ago. I'm out from school since 30 years. Today, learning is very much of a different experience. But looking back, I must say that my education has been very formative. What I want you to say is that if you find a meaning, if you find a meaning in what you're doing, then you will start enjoying the stuff you're doing. And this has been my experience at school. So that's the reason why I was rather happy of doing that.
他离开学校也差不多30年的时间了。那他也在学习的过程中呢，他也发现到就是我刚刚有提到的，他也提过的，就是在他未来的工作会不一样。而他离开学校的30年之后，他也真的发现到这差异很大的。例如说学校的时候，其实没有经过很深入的一个像是实习啊这样的工作，或者说在工坊的历练。那当他出来之后呢，他看到了有不同的事物是需要他更去学习的，所以他现在觉得 learning 这件事情呢，对他的体验呢，跟那种他想要去做的方法，会跟以前在学校时候是很不一样的。Okay, anything else you want to go and say that?
With this one, I think that's good.
Yes. Good. Great. Okay, next. So, how does Magis think about the issue of the piracy from China? Oh.
Well, we know quite a lot about that because we've been copied a lot with our products. But copies are not only from China; they are from different parts of the world as well. However, yes, we know quite a lot about copies. We have one product which is the Bombos tool, still in our collection, by the way, which came out on the market is more than 20 years ago right now, and which is probably the most copied product in the furniture business. So we know quite a lot.
讲到copy这件事情，那真的是很头大的事情。但是呢，他说其实现在也不是只有说会有只有在中国会有一些这样的 copy 品，他说其实全世界很多地方都有。他也举到一个例子，他们其实有一个从20年前就发表了一件作品叫 Bombos tool。这个要是大家看到那个作品的话呢，你马上说，哎，这个我看过，我好像在某个什么节目上看过。他说这张椅子就让他们很大的困扰。Yes.
We in the past, we were used to take this matter very seriously in the sense that we were going against the various copiers and infringers and importers, retailers, etc. But then we stopped doing that because we realized that this is something that this is a problem that we were not able to stop, at least legally, from a legal point of view. The very problem, yeah, sorry.
他提到就是说，其实他在过去的时候，其实这个他也想过，这是非常这个很麻烦的问题。他们其实也做过一些想要去例如说可以阻止这样的事情再次发生的一个做法，不论是说是一些经销商啦，或者说甚至制造商。但他说他现在其实没有这么做了，为什么呢？因为他说其实是蛮不容易的，能够在法律的这一端呢，真的能够得到他们想要的结果。
There is a big difference in the quality between an original and a copy product. We can see that from all, at least based on our experience on all of our products which have been copied. But I believe that the real problem of the copies is not only a problem of someone stealing someone else's intellectual properties, which does not really matter to many people. The real problem is about the consumer. So the real problem is about the consumer's right. So consumer that maybe do not even know that there is a genuine product and a copy, they buy a product which is not safe, which is of inferior quality and which is not safe. That means that the quality inspectors which are out there on the market, they should take action to remove all of the copies off the market.
他提到一件事情就是说，其实在这些 copy 品的品质啊，跟它的一个质感，其实跟 original 是差非常多的。那他也不再刻意的一直在去讨论说，到底是谁偷了谁的 idea， 然后把它丢在上面什么符号。他其实更加想要说明的一件事情是，这个是消费者的权益的问题，因为这些 copy 品不够安全。那他也很觉得说，这样子带给消费者危害的时候，那怎么办？所以他是真心的希望说，应该是用消费者的力量呢，渐渐的 因为不安全，因为你买的这东西是危险的，所以能够让这些 copy 品呢，就是慢慢的消失掉这样子。
However, the interesting development is that in the past, China was seen like a copy land, but not much that longer. I see an interesting development, which is already there since some years, is that China is developing its own culture of design. There are more design schools and design students in China than in any other part of the world, I think. So this means that it's developing the own culture of design, and this is a big step for China from the made in China into the design in China, which I think is great.
他说其实还有一个很有趣的哈，就是说虽然在过去的时候，中国一直被视为是一个 copy land， 就是最多 copy 的地方，其实我们时至今日来看呢，中国现在拥有最多的是像设计相关的学校或学院。那他也觉得世界一直在变，那其中呢，很快的就是会从 Made in China 会变成是 Design in China， 当然他觉得这是好的。Okay, great, well done. So the last questions, I think the last question is also very meaningful. Okay, so how to incorporate ESG concept into the furniture design industrial?
It's a big topic, yes. Environment, social, and corporate governance. It's a big topic today, which does not apply to economics and finance only, but is also very relevant to disciplines like design and architecture, which are playing an important role right now and in the future towards a more sustainable, tomorrow more sustainable world.
这个问题真的是一个算是很大的问题哈。那就是说，包括这个他刚刚提到的这个 ESG 的事情呢，其实事实上是它并不是像说我可以用一个很严谨的方式来看待 design， 例如说我可以分成1、2、3、4、5、6、7，这东西其实是很难去做评价。
By the way, ESG is also very much linked to what I was touching briefly in the conversation earlier on the sustainable development in design. So these arguments are very much interconnected. So organizations, companies realize now the need to show what impact they are making on the environment and on the social product. This is very much important today.
现在就是说，刚才还是回到了就是如何去界定这些标准值的问题哦。当然，许多的厂商其实也是致力的想要去从中找出自己可以对应的一个说法。
So the products we make go into a space, an office, home, public spaces, etc., etc. So they contribute in determining the well-being of that space. I think that all of the actors involved in the design process, manufacturers, designers, production patterns, so everyone should set those goals, should fix those goals. Fixing those goals is the relatively easy part of the job, but measuring them is more difficult because standards are not being clearly defined right now.
其实在不管是商空或者是住宅案，或者甚至是自己的一个私密的空间，或者是这样子的，包括户外，其实他还是提到了如何去找到一个标准值，其实还是现在真正最大的问题。那我们来听听看他会怎么说。
So to the question, how to incorporate ESG standards into the furniture design, I think that everything should start from values, from the values that organizations, companies share. So very important are values like integrity, honesty, transparency, and telling the truth. Of course, respecting the environment, but also caring about the community, being inclusive. So it's about the values that should be shared.
Okay.
And also, yeah, sorry.
So we are talking about maybe the corporate, right? So 它在这个部分呢， 他觉得其实如果要谈到 ESG 的话，第一个是先沟通一个所谓的价值，这个价值其实包含了组织内我们所有的人认知的一个价值。那他也认为应该要让你团队中的每个成员都能够更清楚的去了解到他也应该要跟你讲出来的事实。那这样子的话是认为是必须要保持沟通的一个很畅通的一个做法。
And then, of course, when making products, but even before that, when designing, even before designing, when working on ideas, we should all consider which materials to use, finding the right materials, thinking about how the product is made, who is going to work on the product, how the product is serviced and maintained during the life of the product itself, what happens at the end of the life cycle, how it can be separated and recycled, upcycled consciously, but also think about the community because it's made by a community and you get a lot from the community. So always also trying to give something back to your community.
他来提到是说，如果讲一个例子，就是我们来制造一个家具好了，他会想到的是要用什么样的材料，那是由谁来去制造的这些作品的，以及说可能考虑到材料的时候呢，你会想到的是它是属于回收的 recycling 呢，或者是再制的 upcycling 差异。其实在一个他所谓的社区的想法，应该是在他们团队里面，大家怎么去思考这个内容物的部分。
And all of this has to be done and made in an economically sound way, which could seem like a bit of a challenge. Yes, it is a challenge, but there is no alternative. We do not have a planet B. So we all have to care about the resources. We all have to care the community, and we all have to care about the future of our world. I think at the end that being responsible will pay back. And also, it will hopefully contribute to make the world a better place for living.
更有经济的方法，应该是说，就是可以让工序可以更短暂，或者是说不要太有多的浪费，这样子的一个做法，其实也是一个对我们这个环境是相对更友善的一个做法，因为毕竟可以减掉一些不需要的工序。OK。Great, hold on a second. 因为这个时间的关系呢，真是很抱歉，因为我们实在是没有办法让大家现场去提问。那我接下来的部分呢，也会再跟 Alberto 就是说一下这个的问题。So Alberto, due to the time problem, because we have insufficient time, so we only got these 5 questions from the audience. So but people so crazy, they want to going to ask you so many questions now. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. So anyway, we thank you, Alberto, again, and for this meeting and sharing. Thank you.
I'd like to say thank you. I was happy of taking part to this little celebration on design. I think it's great. Italy is an extraordinary place. I was hearing this on the video earlier. I cannot but agree 100%. Yeah. But I hope to be back soon in Taiwan. I've been a few times and always enjoyed much. By the way, I love cycling, and I know it's beautiful to cycle in Thailand. I want to do all around the island, cycling on route number 1. I think that's the one, right? All around.
Did you ride
all around the island? Really? All around the island. Really? Yes. I love that. Yeah, one day soon.
Come join us.
All right.
所以他真的很想要再回到台湾，因为以前我们曾经邀请过他来台湾，然后甚至跟我们大家做一个研讨。那他很希望能够来这边能够环岛，而且是骑脚踏车哦，这个是一个很酷的哦。这个让他自己去就好了，我应该不会去哦。大概是用一个，就是他真的是很想来了，因为他有跟我提过。Okay, thank you, Alberto.
Thank you, Doxia Dage. Thank you.
Wow, you are so nice. OK，
Thank you.
Great，
Yeah.
好。
Bye. Thank you all. Bye.